And who is that?
Terence Crawford. That's it. You know, I'm 41-0 for a reason. You gotta have 4 arms. I know. I know. 6 eyes.
Our job is to line it up. And us fighters, we're warriors. We always want to fight the best.
Floyd Mayweather has stepped into the conversation surrounding Terence Crawford with a message that comes across more as guidance than ego, warning that the pursuit of certain legacies can turn into chasing something that no longer truly exists. He reminded everyone that the version of himself that once ruled boxing walked away on his own terms, undefeated, with his legacy already sealed. According to Mayweather, that chapter is closed for good, and anyone trying to measure themselves against that era risks chasing an illusion instead of building something real and lasting of their own.
And me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Floyd Mayweather made his point clear while speaking with Stephen A. Smith, explaining that boxing isn't just about who appears dominant right now, but about who truly owned the moment when the pressure was highest and all eyes were on them. In his view, timing is just as important as raw ability, and he suggested that with Terence Crawford now in his mid-30s, the opportunity for a defining, era-shaping fight has already passed. According to Mayweather, that kind of matchup needed to happen earlier, at a time when it could have delivered maximum impact and drawn record-level attention.
Wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Oh, why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
That message came during a heated discussion on Stephen A. Smith's platform where Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford shared a rare face-to-face moment that quickly caught the boxing world's attention. Mayweather stayed composed the entire time but spoke with authority, making it clear that simply winning fights isn't enough to rewrite history. He emphasized that even if Crawford beats opponents he never faced, it doesn't change what was already accomplished during his own era. By putting it that way, Floyd brought the spotlight back to his time at the top, while subtly reminding Crawford that the opportunity to face him inside the ring is long gone, and that arriving later means observing that chapter from the outside rather than being part of it.
I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose because now society has shaped things to where if a fighter lose, they talk so bad about, oh, he's a bum. I knew he was overrated. Oh, y'all hyped him up, and now they got to hear it. But back in the day, they didn't have social media. You know what I mean? So all that wasn't in their face.
What started as a back and forth between two fighters has now expanded into a much bigger divide across the boxing world, with fans, fighters, and analysts all picking sides in the debate. Even active stars like Ryan Garcia have stepped in and added more intensity to the conversation, showing once again that he isn't afraid to speak openly. During a recent appearance on Ring Magazine, Inside the Ring, Garcia responded to former NFL player LaShawn McCoy, who claimed no one influenced boxing the way Floyd Mayweather did, but Garcia disagreed strongly, saying that influence came in a negative way. He argued that Mayweather didn't just control what happened in the ring, but also mastered the timing of his fights outside of it, suggesting that he chose moments that worked in his favor and waited until opponents like Manny Pacquiao were no longer at their peak. Garcia went further by saying that after moving beyond the lower weight classes, Mayweather rarely faced fighters at their absolute best, and implied that his undefeated record was shaped as much by careful selection as it was by skill. In Garcia's view, this shift changed the sport because the focus moved away from chasing the toughest challenges and instead centered on protecting a perfect record rather than proving greatness through risk.
Everybody acting like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather. Y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, like, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd not getting hit by elites, Bud getting hit by non-elites, and somehow y'all think Canelo not about to touch him.
This is where Max Kellerman stepped in with his perspective, offering a thoughtful take on how Terence Crawford's legacy could be viewed as stronger than Floyd Mayweather's depending on how you measure greatness. Kellerman explained that Mayweather was known for choosing the timing of his fights very carefully, especially after moving past lightweight, which left some fans feeling that certain matchups didn't happen when they should have. While Floyd's record is filled with major names, Kellerman pointed out that questions about timing have always lingered. On the other hand, he highlighted Crawford's approach, noting that he has consistently shown a willingness to face whoever is put in front of him, even if his resume may not look as stacked on paper. According to Kellerman, that mindset brings a different level of authenticity and respect to Crawford's legacy, built more on taking risks than controlling the moment.
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the...
This is where the real divide becomes clear, resume versus intent, because Floyd Mayweather's record is filled with legendary names like Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto, Ricky Hatton, Juan Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Arturo Gatti, Diego Corrales, and many more, making it look almost untouchable on paper. However, critics such as Ryan Garcia and Max Kellerman argue that timing changes how those victories should be viewed because context matters just as much as the result itself. They point out that Pacquiao was older and not at his peak when they finally fought in 2015, while Mosley was already 38 and coming off a long period of inactivity. They also mention that Cotto had taken years of punishment before facing Mayweather and that Canelo Alvarez was only 23 and had to fight at a catchweight before reaching his prime. Even though Floyd won all of those fights and his achievements remain undeniable, critics believe the questions around timing never fully disappear because in their view true greatness is defined not just by winning but by when and how those victories are earned.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight. And that's what led him to be so great, you know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy.
Right now, Terence Crawford stands with 38 wins and no losses, having secured undisputed championships across 3 weight divisions and building a resume that includes names like Yuri Ortiz, Gamboa, Victor Postal, Jeff Horn, Sean Porter, Errol Spence Jr., and Israel Madrimov, firmly placing him among the elite fighters of his era. Still, when compared to Floyd Mayweather's perfect 50-0 record, the numbers naturally lean in Floyd's favor because in legacy debates, even the smallest difference can feel significant. However, Crawford brings something different to the table, a clear desire to keep moving up in weight and test himself further. If he steps into the middleweight division and wins a title, he would accomplish something Mayweather never attempted since Floyd stopped his run at 154 pounds. Mayweather built his legacy where he chose to compete, but he never pushed toward a 6th division. And that willingness from Crawford to keep exploring new challenges could ultimately reshape how this entire debate is remembered.
We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight. And I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed?